Howdy, howdy, everybody. Well, out at the airport again because the airport's closed. Why am I out here? Well, what I mean is the runway's closed. They're repaving, so we're going to be down for a week. In the meantime, I thought, you know what, I'll get a couple of other things done on the airplane. And I decided to tackle something that I've been wanting to do for a while or figure out. As most of you know, I'm not a professional much of anything. My videos aren't, you know, they're not high quality. They're not I don't put a lot of editing effort into them. They're not cinematic and all that kind of jazz like some channels are. I just don't have the time or the resources for that. But still, video is what the channel is about, and um, and that's why we're all here. So I after this last engine incident, I mentioned it in another video that I didn't have any recording going on when all that happened, and that's a bummer because I wonder what actually happened during the flight, and I would love to be able to review it and see how I reacted, see what I did, verify what I thought I saw and heard, and all that kind of stuff. But I can't. It's over. It all happened so fast. There's pressure. There's stuff going on in your mind. So it's aviate, navigate, communicate, and record in that order. Hands were full with everything else. Didn't even think to just reach up and hit the button to start recording. That's as simple as the system is right now. What I've got in my airplane right now are just some, they're not GoPro, they're Get cams. And let me show you what I've got here. So right up here above my head, I've got a mount. And that mount is where I put my main camera, and the audio comes from the intercom into a mic input on it. And then I've got a slave camera out here. So this slave camera gives the view down at the nose. What I like about that is, what I've really liked about this is I don't have to worry about batteries for this. One battery on the one camera does both. So you get two angles, two different shots for only dealing with one camera. That's pretty cool. And so they're synced up together, the audio's in and all that jazz. But it's got a drawback. Like almost every single camera out there, you have the battery problem, keeping up with the batteries and the charging. And I am only limited to those two views. And the one out here I like on the wing, I like that view. The one in the cockpit I'm not as fond of. So I thought about, what are some options? Do I want to go with the Insta 360s? Do I want to go with the new DJI? Do I want to go with traditional GoPro? The Get cams, they've quit producing, so I can't, there's no more upgrades. I can't even replace them if one goes bad. They're not available anymore. They have been excellent cameras for the price and what I've gotten out of them, but again, it's time to change something. And so I was thinking, if I would have only had that recording, I would have something to review. Well, I did some research and I decided, this is a trial, but I decided I'm going to go with something a little bit different than everybody else probably is out there. So let me show you what it is. So here it is. It's put out by VIOFO. It is the A134 Pro dash camera. This says 2-channel, but I've actually got a 3-channel one. I've got another camera, but so what I decided to do was go with a dash camera setup that is constantly recording, and then I can just hit a button and save the recording if there's something that I like. So it's 4K, and the one thing about this particular dash cam that I like is the fact that it has an external mic input. Not very many of them do, and in a cockpit environment you kind of need that for intercom and communications. So I found one that had the mic input on it. And so yeah, I've got this one will have the front, rear, and interior camera on it. And so kind of what I'm going to get with this is actually 4 different perspectives. I'll have the main camera set up to shoot through the windshield, so that'll be kind of a neat view. But then the camera can also rotate to where it faces the pilots, can face my face, so to speak. I'm going to go ahead and mount another one out there like I've got here for that perspective, for the external perspective. And then I'm going to have another one that is up behind the speaker in there with a forward view to try to capture data on the dash, dash from the instrument panel. So yeah, this is it right here. These are very highly rated and reviewed dash cams. They always place at the top. So I just kind of, yeah, it's got the StarViz sensors in it. Can hook it up for Wi-Fi, night vision. I won't need the parking mode, obviously, but it has all these other options on it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and unbox it and show it to you. All right, so here it is. Got the user manual. And let's see. This looks like the main camera itself. So yeah, here it is. So there's that. This one came with a 256 gig SD card. A couple other items. And in this particular package, I've got the power cable. Looks like the cable to run to the exterior camera. CPL filter, that will be good. Ah, this is the exterior camera. Boy, that's small. So yeah, there it is in a nutshell. So I'm going to get this work on. Before I install it, I want to do some tests and make sure I get the results with it that I want before I go to all the effort of installing it. So I want to do some audio testing and just make sure that it's going to work for the application and it's not just, you know, putting it all together and then totally hate it. So anyway, let's see what we can test out. All right, so we've got the camera installed. Let me go ahead and show you. So there it is. So I can control everything from in here. Got that camera there. This rear camera back here is installed. And then I have this last camera out here. So pretty cool. Pretty cool that I think this is going to make things a lot simpler. I'm going to have a complete recording of every flight. If anything happens, there's always something to review. I've got lots more angles than I did before, and simplicity. No charging batteries. No having to splice audio clips and stuff because it's all tied in together. So I think it's going to allow me to put out more content with a lot more simplicity.
All right, so there's that. That gives the instrument panel. Don't know that it'll grab everything, but it will give us some pretty good indication of some stuff. Let's see here. So that gives an interior LED. I don't know how that works. Yeah, that ought to work pretty good. Okay, so all in all, everything's looking pretty good. I think the camera is set up because I've got I can record both us at the front when I want to talk. I've got the overhead back here that allows this, and then the outside and the forward. So 4 views with the audio tied in should make editing a whole lot simpler, and I'll have more content to work with. So, and the good thing about this is I won't have to worry about missing anything. This thing's always recording. Yeah, that ought to work pretty good. All right. Here we are for our first run. First time we're gonna have flown it here in a little bit. We don't have an AWOS out here at the moment, so kind of stuck with what we got. Okay, get some cabin air in.
First on traffic, 365 Hotel Golf is 7 to southwest, straight in for 5, your left turn off for the field farm.
I like the views I'm getting. Morristown traffic, Cessna 18 Golf, taking off runway 23, make a left turn out on Morristown. Oil pressure, instruments are in the green. Have that squawk on so high. Morristown traffic, Cessna 18 Golf, it's departed runway 23, making a left turn out. Morristown. Don't have my autopilot, but that's okay. Oh, so good to be up again. Baruch Hashem. Well, everything seems to be working.
Green County traffic, Cessna 704 Yankee Echo is on final for runway 23, Green County.
Gosh, this is chocolate milk. Very pretty. They have a great place there. See a little Norway spruce. Cute. Golly, man.
Green County traffic, Cessna 704 Yankee Echo, turning crosswind for runway 23, Green County.
So, yeah, I like this. So now I'm flying into the sun. I guess this probably won't work well with this. But, yeah. So far, I think everything's going to be looking good, but this should really allow me to do some extra content that I haven't been able to do before. So kind of excited about it. But I think this is kind of got the dust blowed off, so I'm going to go home and head on back. Start planning some actual flights again. Hopefully I get my autopilot back in here shortly. That's been it's been out for the upgrade. I'm anxious to get it on and work with it a little bit. Think I would trust this little booger not anywhere at the moment, so. Morristown traffic, Cessna 18 Golf, 5 miles to the southeast. Will be inbound for an extended left base for 23 Morristown. Morristown traffic, Cessna 18 Golf is entering left base for 23 Morristown. 500. Morristown traffic, Cessna 18 Golf is based final for 23 Morristown. That was a funky. Wind is weird. work on things just like golf reactors. All right. Well, sounds good. We will see you on the next episode.